Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Takedown with your host, Craig.
The nipple conversation threw me.
John.
I am not going to get a picture of you tattooed anywhere on me ever for any bet.
What do I do with my teenage boy self?
And Jeff the Ref.
Schedule be damned.
Don't
make me DQ.
Let's get it on. Welcome, folks, to Takedown on the T3 Podcast Network. I am your host, Craig, joined by my lovely fellow co-host, John.
And our lovely friend, Jefe El Refe, also known as Jeff the Ref, also known as the carrier of Corona in this clique.
Probably.
No.
He would be the Tupac. The 1, 2, 3 kid. No, he would be the Burt Ward Robin
Who?
of our show.
But that.
With the Carnivorosaurus.
So are we both Batman then?
What?
Well, yeah.
I understood the first two because they were wrestling references, and this is a wrestling show.
Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick.
Well, he's married to... No. Okay.
Anyway.
I'll take it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're so glad that you could be here on our first episode on our new stream for Takedown on the T3 Network. We have all new socials to tell you about. So first off, stop what you're doing. If you are listening to this on the Take Two stream, put your pants back on. If you're listening to this on the Take Two stream, go to iTunes, go to Google Play, go to Podbean, Spotify, whatever you're doing.
Wife, hide your kids.
Hide your kids. Look up T3 Podcast Network or T3 Network. Find us on there. Subscribe. We have our own feed. We'll do a couple of double episodes on both feeds now just to get everybody comfortable with this. But starting in April, just our own feed. So you got to get onto the T3 Network and follow us there.
If you're going to hang out and chat with us, you might as well get us like on the Twitters at T3 Network.
That's it. Exactly.
And then our Instas and Facebook, we are T3 Network.
Exactly. All over those socials. We're going to be all over there.
And correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
But we are so high speed, we also have our own website in development.
We do.
And a super secret hotline that only our friends and fans can get us on.
Exactly. Our website is T3podcastnetwork.com. It's the letter T, the number 3, podcastnetwork.com. And John, with those velvety tones, please let them know the super secret phone number that they can call us on.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call us, you can reach us at 202-556-4433. That's 202-556-4433. Myself and Craig are standing by.
Exactly. You can also text us on that number if you don't feel comfortable talking because you're afraid you're going to get corona via the phone. You can just send text messages.
Would that
That's
be
okay
phone
too.
corona?
Phone Rona?
Phone Rona.
Confona.
So, as we discussed, we are a wrestling show. We have been a wrestling show for many years, now off on our own. And this is probably the worst possible time to relaunch a wrestling show.
Yeah,
Absolutely horrible.
I think we made a poor choice of timing.
We really did. This isn't our fault.
This is your fault. You chose this date.
Look.
This is what I'm
going to say.
Yes.
As the Hall of Famer.
Oh, yes. God.
Wait,
As-
we've started over. That should start over.
As the Hall of Famer.
Our Hall of Fame just gets erased.
This is episode 1, right? There's no Hall of Fame.
As the senior, most elder statesman of the group.
I'll give you that.
You are
You're
in the
old.
danger group for the virus.
Yes.
The gods are against us, but we say nay.
Nay!
We fight back. We start our own new podcast. Not only with just our wrestling show, but more content to come.
Exactly. We have many more different topics we're going to cover. All about food, all about news, all about whatever we feel like talking about.
You might even hear us talk about movies and entertainment. But listen, our stuff is minor compared to the great stuff you get on our show, our friend's show, Take Two.
Exactly. You can still go to Take Two Podcast. You can still follow them for all your movie, TV, news, reviews, all that sort of stuff. We are just now a new feed for you to get more of us because we've heard what the fans want. And they want more John and Craig and Jeff.
That's right.
It's what they want.
Fuck you, weather gods. Fuck you, sickness gods. we're podcasting. We're proud of it.
Yeah.
And fuck you.
Now, the whole lead up to
I'm
this
ready to fight.
April start date was we were going to have a nice preview episode for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I was going to Takeover and WrestleMania and Access and WrestleCon.
Yeah.
And I was going to all that. And guess it's all done.
None of that's happening.
Your year went to shit.
My Christmas / 40th birthday present, gone.
Wow.
So, if you don't know, and you're listening to a wrestling podcast and somehow don't know this, WrestleMania at the stadium, done. Not happening. Too many people were going to be there. So they've moved it to the Performance Center. Same date, same matches, no audience at the Performance Center.
It's going to be just as good.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Just as good as
Raw and SmackDown.
Raw and SmackDown this past week?
All right. You know what? Let's jump into it.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on SmackDown, John?
With SmackDown and Raw both being in the Performance Center, no audience, it's tough. Now, I honestly, genuinely appreciate what WWE is trying to do here, and the show must go on.
I'll give you that.
I'm interested to see, because we're recording this on Wednesday morning, I'm interested to see on how AEW handles it.
Yes.
Are they going to try to keep these shoots going? Are they going to give us feeder matches from other events that they've had? Because that's the biggest thing that's turned us off with this.
I agree. If you read about it, AEW, Cody said that they will continue the storylines during all this.
No, I get it, but WWE, they bring out Edge on Raw this week. He's the opener of the show. He comes out, he cuts one hell of a promo against Randy.
Right.
So I will give him that. Stop it with the Corona!
But then one of the things that they did it on SmackDown from Elimination Chamber. They did it on this Raw from Royal Rumble. They showed the entire men's Royal Rumble this week on Raw. They showed the entire tag team Elimination Chamber match on Friday on SmackDown.
Both of which about 30 to 45 minutes.
At a certain point, you're going to run out of things. I assume it's at this next coming SmackDown, we're going to get something from Super Showdown. You're going to run out of things to show from previous pay events.
And then when you have 316, Austin 316 Day, and you bring him out, and who's he paying to? Who? So I appreciate it, and I, as a wrestling fan, will keep watching wrestling, even if you have to tweak the show for it to be in a stadium where there's no people for a couple of weeks.
And I think we discussed it all in our super long, very extensive text thread that we have during every wrestling event. There were certain wrestlers that handled it well. Miz and Morrison, I thought, did a great job on SmackDown playing up that there was no audience.
Right.
Talking to the camera. But then you had the females come out. You had Sasha and Bayley trying to attempt to get a crowd
literally
pump.
Yelling at empty chairs and trying to get Triple H to tell her where Paige is.
And then you even had, which I think was the best thing they did on SmackDown, which was Triple H on commentary. You had Bayley at one point grab the mic to yell something at Alexa Bliss, and Triple H was like, she probably could have just yelled that. She didn't really need to grab the mic.
Yeah,
because nobody's there.
When Triple H was doing Cole's makeup,
or using the camera, he was like, we're running short staff, Cole. We got to work with
some of that stuff. Me personally, if it's going to continue like this, they should just suspend all operations for the safety of the wrestlers and not produce any weird shows for the next few weeks.
There's no way at the Performance Center for the WrestleMania event that you're going to have groups of 10 or less people interacting. Just the amount of wrestlers, the amount of production team, everything that's involved in doing the show is more people than they're advising be together.
Yep.
So one of the things that I've heard, and we know we discussed this rumor the other day, is that they're maybe pushing WrestleMania to the Performance Center to get told, don't do it at the Performance Center, you can't do it there, to then get the insurance to push it to Madison Square Garden in June.
Yeah.
Because they also had to cancel a Madison Square Garden show.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be in April. So
WrestleMania will be better with fans. All of us are better with fans.
Wrestling is better as fans because it is an audience-based program.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I get that in the times and the things that we're going through right now, I understand, and I am willing to be patient and work with WWE, AEW, and all the other promoters. But to the event that this continues to go on, you gotta work better with what you got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I actually think, I guess it was SmackDown when they had Roman Reigns come out and talk. Like, that worked better. Sitting and doing everything in almost an interview situation as opposed to coming out and running a promo solely to yourself, to no one but the camera. It just felt more realistic, for lack of a better term. Like, it just felt better. Like, Austin doing his reasons that 316 should be a holiday and why it's a holiday, to basically just a Byron. Like, that just was dumb. Like, it didn't work.
It didn't translate well. But, I mean, how are you going to take 316 Austin off the show?
Right. You got to cap him on there for 316. But I will say, I watched that entire episode, and granted, I know that a lot of beer gets poured out of the mouth when he's, chugging it. He probably went through like a dozen cans of beer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, he was two-fisting almost every single time.
He said that on his podcast and in interviews that he would get blitzed every time he did that just because, you didn't drink the whole can, but you were drinking enough.
Right. I give credit to Becky Lynch, who came out later on, and she wasn't spilling a lot. She was fucking downing that beer. She was like all the way.
And you know what that leads us to?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I must make a confession. On our very first show on the new T3 Podcast Network.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I still love you, Becky Lynch.
Oh, I'm glad it's continued. I'm glad. We were almost worried that you didn't love her.
I know.
Did you enjoy her giant freight truck?
Yeah, I did love her pulling up in the truck. I don't know why. I know she wasn't driving it.
No. When they panned the camera over slowly from one side to the driver's side, she's sitting in the driver's seat. Obviously, she drove it.
But anyway.
What was the reason? Why a semi-truck?
Because she's the last kicker, the bad lass, where she can handle a
semi-truck.
Because only badass ass-kicking ladies can drive semis.
Still makes no sense.
Because they're trying to make her be Steve Austin in every way possible. And at one point in one episode, Steve Austin drives a Budweiser truck. We need to give Becky Lynch a truck. That's the reason.
I think somebody goes, hey, look at my truck. And Becky was like, I like that truck. Let's put it in the intro.
Yeah.
We got nothing better to do.
Yeah, why not?
Ain't nobody watching the show tonight anyway.
Now, have you guys heard anything of what the ratings were like for SmackDown and Raw? I haven't looked it up.
I haven't even looked.
As a good show, we probably should have. But I imagine they weren't that high. I maybe feel Friday was probably decent just for the pure, I wonder what it's going to be like factor.
I assume Raw was pretty good, too, because of Austin.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You did still have Austin. But there were people that messed up. Like, you mentioned, John, Paige was supposed to come out on Friday at SmackDown. She didn't come out because there were tribal issues.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things just didn't happen.
Well, I did see on the socials that a lot of people, especially after SmackDown, they enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. They were like, that was different. I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but hey,
Yeah.
I mean,
to each their own.
It was, I think, if I remember right, SmackDown ratings were up because people were stuck in the house. There's nothing else to watch, and this gave them something.
Yeah.
And I think Raw was about the same. It'll be interesting tonight because NXT is normally that size show.
Right.
And
but
I think NXT,
no people, right?
Yeah, but I think
NXT
is more apt to doing an empty stadium because
I agree.
Of
they're used to smaller in general.
But then what's AEW doing?
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I think.
I almost am more interested to watch AEW tonight to see how they handle it, more so than NXT, because you're right. I think NXT will be fine. I think it'll be a little weird, but it'll be fine.
I think that's the experiment tonight. Let's see what AEW does with this.
So the question is then, how far can this go? Like, how much longer can they sustain this before you're going to have even just general wrestling fans, like you said yourself, Jeff, that are just like, I just don't want to watch it anymore.
I think into the third to fourth week, if this is still going on, people will stop watching. And it might be hard-pressed to get some of them to come back to wrestling.
Yeah,
they'll take
especially something like
they'll take a hiatus.
WWE.
It's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I also see them never taking a hiatus. I mean, Raw's been the longest-running show on cable forever. They're not going to want to stop that.
Not the network. I think people.
Right.
They'll stop watching and take a hiatus from watching.
And then just
even when it comes back to normal with crowds, they're just like, nah.
I got so used to having my Mondays free.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. If we didn't watch wrestling, gentlemen, that's 3 plus 6. So that's like 9 hours a week that we would have free. if we didn't
Not
watch
counting
wrestling.
pay-per-views
Not counting
or-
pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Or anything else outside of
or
the
recording
two
a
mains.
podcast about it.
Or recording a podcast
or spending all
about
the time
it.
we do talking
That's
about
a
it.
decent amount of time.
But then there's also the question, if we didn't watch wrestling every week, what the hell would us three talk about to each other? 'Cause-
Sports. Oh, wait. That's been canceled also.
Well, if you want to get into sports, you want to talk about the XFL.
Oh,
What?
the XFL. No more.
Not
Really?
for
No.
this year.
No.
There's a promise that they're coming back next year.
I think they will.
All their players are going to be paid through the season, and there's a big push that they're saying, yeah, we'll be back next year, and I think they will. I think they've generated enough revenue and interest to come back.
Yeah, and I think Vince doesn't want a one and done again.
Again.
So who knows?
I don't think they will. I don't think they will come back.
You don't think they'll start back next
No.
February? Why not?
I think something's going to happen, and they're just not going to come back. They're just going to not do it.
Interesting.
Do we care to...
Do you care
So,
to lay
have a
a
little
wager,
wager?
sir?
And what would the wager be?
I don't know, but I'm not getting into tattoo of either of them.
Because here's the thing. Remember our no nachos.
That's
right?
true. We are
And then
currently...
you were supposed to get nachos in April.
That's right.
And now your nacho consumption got screwed
We had a
up.
bet, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't listen to Take Two Takedown in our former incantation, where we agreed to only 2 nachos, right, for the entire year.
Correct.
As our New Year's resolution. And I was going to use
Still
both
going
of,
strong.
I was going to use both of my nachos at WrestleMania. One at TakeOver, one at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Now I'm not going to either one.
I know what the bet is.
What is the bet?
The bet is this. If I win,
So if you win as in if XFL comes back.
you buy you and me tickets, we go watch it together.
Okay. Okay.
If XFL does not come back, I will bring a Raw or SmackDown. I will buy tickets, and you and I will go watch that instead.
Oh, interesting. What's wrong with that bet?
I don't know. I just like to
Hey,
to contemplate it as if it's hard to think about. I mean, it's obviously a very good bet.
Do you want me to help you negotiate?
Yes, please, ref, help me
Add
negotiate.
nachos in with that, and he'll go. He'll do it.
What if we each add nachos in?
I don't.
Well, no,
I don't need you to negotiate anything. It's pretty much a fair bet down the line.
How about this?
we both get to go enjoy, and we can eat whatever we want while we're there.
Cranky.
How about this? XFL comes back, I will buy you and I tickets to go to an XFL game.
Okay.
They don't come back. You buy all 3 of us tickets to go see a WWE event.
Why does he get dragged in? He can be part of this.
Jeff,
bet,
how do you
too.
feel about this agreement? I think Jeff likes it.
Well, Jeff agreed with me that the XFL is coming.
That's true. Damn it. All right, so then XFL comes back.
I buy.
If XFL comes back, I buy all 3 of us tickets to go.
All right.
If WWE comes back, you two.
Well, not
buy-
WWE comes back.
Well, yeah.
But if
comes back.
XFL doesn't come back,
Then you two
we
buy all 3 of us tickets.
We spot you.
I like it.
We got you.
I like it.
how about I buy the tickets, you buy the tickets,
I
he
buy
has
the
to buy the
nachos.
snacks.
He has to buy nachos
Either
in
way.
either one.
Yeah.
But then
Because you and I will eat more in nachos than we
Assholes.
would in ticket price.
that is very
But
true.
you only get your 2 nachos.
That is very true. No, that'll be next year. Whole new year. It won't matter.
A whole new year.
That's pretty good.
That was.
Pretty
That
good.
was on key. So, like I said, it's weird to be restarting this wrestling podcast. So if you look at other wrestling podcasts, they're going back a lot, talking about favorite matches, favorite things, stuff like that. I think just to give anyone who's just joining us now as the 3 lovely triad hosts of Takedown, let's just discuss who of all time is your favorite wrestler to lead people into describing who we are as people.
Oh man, that's a tough one.
I know.
Usually, when you
Well,
pose these
it's tough for
questions,
old people.
I've got answers, but my problem is there's so many.
There is, and you have to feel this wrestler best describes your feelings towards wrestling or what you love about wrestling is because of this wrestler.
All right, I know who I can pick.
All right. Then why don't you start first, Elder Statesman, because you're probably going to die of corona first.
Thanks, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Whatever Corona gets me, I'll take. I'm going to say one of my all-time favorites, the one that best represents what wrestling means to me. Rowdy Roddy Piper.
I knew you'd say it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So, I mean, he was the entertainment, both in and out of the ring.
Yes.
He led the life outside of the ring. You always felt he was in character. There was always
I don't remember
something,
ever seeing him not in character.
there was always something new about him, always something coming up, and there's always that level of excitement. Whenever he came on, something was going to happen,
Yeah.
and I love him.
I agree. He's definitely top 3 for me for sure.
And in that vein, I can throw like Savage in there.
Yeah.
I can throw a Shawn Michaels in there. I can even throw Becky, Steve Austin, The Rock in there. I mean, all the big names.
Right.
They all brought that juice, that thing, that
juice, that realness that you felt.
But I mean, like, it gave you that raw excitement for the whole thing.
I like it.
So, what are you thinking?
I'm a little bit younger than you.
You are.
Right? Grew up in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So, mine would be Stone Cold.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yes.
but I did watch back in the day. I liked myself some Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
But I
Ultimate
think
Warrior was more the show to
yes,
me.
but I think overall it would be Stone Cold.
I can see that. That's what I would have thought you had said, yes. Now, for me personally, much in the same vein that you said, like of Roddy Piper, always in character, stuff like that, I think I'd have to go for Ric Flair. Because Ric Flair just was never not Ric Flair.
I can't argue that at all.
He was not a character.
Right,
He was
he
him.
was himself.
Yes.
You look at like that 30 for 30 ESPN did on Ric Flair, and some of those stories back, you know, in his past and stuff like that. He always was that person.
So, what I like going down this line of thought and where we're going at with all this is, these are the wrestlers that were like the show. These were the wrestlers that were like, so who is like that one wrestler that maybe wasn't well known or as well known, that maybe never held the belt or whatever? What was that one wrestler to you that, like, he was an all-time favorite of yours, but you felt never really got the recognition? Like, for me, Dean Malenko.
Okay.
I could watch that guy wrestle in and out all the time.
Yeah.
He was the master of 1,001 holds. He was just an incredible technical wrestler. And I think he had the IC belt for a bit. He was a tag team champion in WCW, but never really got that push, never really got over because he wasn't a big guy.
Yeah. See, one of mine's along that same vein. And while he was pushed, he was popular, I don't think he reached the popularity he could have, was Arn Anderson. You know,
I love Arn Anderson.
I love Arn Anderson. I think he's doing great stuff on AEW right now. Like,
I'm not a big fan of the coach stick.
The coach stick with the sweater vests and walking around with the play sheet where he covers his mouth as he's talking.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Why would you need that? Cody, come on.
That's very true. Cody does not need that. But
I like that it gets Arn down to the ring.
Why do you need librarians?
That's true.
They're trying to come up with something.
I get it.
Something.
I like that it gets him down to the ring. I like that they're getting the old manager feel back. Like, because now they got that. They got Jake the Snake. They got.
I like all of that kind of stuff. I like them bringing back Jake the Snake and all those. So, what is there anybody that you can think of, Jeff, that falls in that same vein for you?
Hornswoggle. No, I'm just
Horn.
just
joking.
Never got
St. Patrick's Day yesterday.
Never got just desserts.
Mr. Perfect back in the day. Now I know he was a bigger name, but from what I can remember, I never saw him mess up his moves. I mean, I'm sure he did.
Right, but he was always on point. He was
but he wasn't like the big name.
Right.
But
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, I think now, because there are people I'm sure that are listening to this show because they love us and they know who we are. If you were to have somebody now come into wrestling, who would you say that they should watch now to sort of get the feelings that maybe this is something when they want to watch?
Are you talking like a current
right now
big star kind of person, or one to like watch them in the next 5 years grow into something?
I'm
awesome?
saying current sort of bigger star. Like if there's somebody who's like, I want to watch wrestling, I want to get back into it, because that's where most people. I want to start watching. Well, not right now because wrestling's weird right now.
Yeah,
but like. Somebody that you can within, maybe even go back within the last year and watch these matches.
What are you thinking, Jeff?
Who would it be?
Well, I would say if it was right now, Moxley. I know that's a big name for a big company, but
that's a really good one.
That's a really good one.
Not Dean Ambrose,
right? Dean Ambrose,
John
Moxley.
Yep. No, I like that idea. I'll just stick with the WWE down the line. Drew McIntyre coming back. I know he's a big comeback, but this is going to be his year, 2020, 2021.
And you know what? I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because this is it, and we all assume he's going to beat Lesnar.
He was going to beat Lesnar,
and then now there's no crowd.
I do feel bad for it, because I think him getting that belt over Lesnar in that giant 80,000 seat stadium
be
would have been
huge.
amazing. Plus,
You'll never know.
I was already looking forward to his entrance coming out. I'm sure there would have been bagpipe freaking bands and
if
Irish dancers in front of him.
You'll know.
If anybody legitimately can pull it off, it would be him.
It would be him.
Beating Lesnar.
Right.
And I think he would do well as a champion.
I agree.
I mean, he's kind of been...
You know who shouldn't be a champion? Goldberg.
Yes. Agreed.
Not in 2020.
What?
Agreed. What? Huh? Yeah. Oh.
They had to drop the belt somehow.
But now they're stuck in this. Granted, no one saw this coming, but still, now you're in this weirdness.
But now it's easy for it's easy for what's his face to get the belt back.
Reigns.
He doesn't have to
and he won't
work hard.
And he'll be at
Guy's
WrestleMania
old.
winning a belt to no booze for once. So that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's what they've been trying for 5 years.
Yeah.
Is to have Roman win at WrestleMania to not booze.
Yeah.
So no booze. Yay.
You know what? I enjoy the show. It's a lot like the old one, but different.
Right.
You know what we should do maybe next week or the following week?
Okay. I mean, there's not a lot of wrestling stuff going on, so we can
when
do
we get
anything we want.
quarantined. I say we get on the horn with some of our old friends, maybe the Wrestling Life, maybe Alleged Wrestling Podcast. We get on with them, challenge them to a, I don't know, who's who of wrestling or some sort of wrestling competition.
Got it. We would probably lose.
Yeah, but it'd be a fun time.
We know we would lose
this
to
is what we
Wrestling
do.
Life.
I figured it out. I figured it out.
Okay.
Something that would level the playing field. Not necessarily for me. Maybe you two guys can anchor the team.
Okay.
We design a wrestling drinking game.
Gotcha. I think that can happen. Everybody's just sitting at home.
That's what I'm saying.
Watching
We
WWE
design
Network.
a wrestling drinking game. And when we're all watching, say, Raw together.
Right.
When something happens, we have to do something. If you don't do it in enough time, your team has to drink.
I think that could happen. We could make something like that happen.
What do you think?
Or at least it somehow come up with some sort of... Because Raw and SmackDown and NXT and AEW are probably going to be so awkward for the next few weeks. If we introduce a drinking game to this, maybe it'll be more entertaining for people.
What if we had a wrestling spelling bee? Prerequisite, 4 beers in.
I'm the horrible speller anyway.
That's the best.
Yeah, but what would you be spelling?
Wrestler names, things to do with wrestling, and words that had the letters in wrestling. Turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Spell nachos. You know, every time I write nachos, I write N-A-N, and then I erase it and do C.
Nachos?
I do nachos, like, every time. So I would lose this spelling bee, but I'm all for doing it anyway.
Yeah, but like Carlsberg beer.
Yeah. Or Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? I don't know.
Bruno Sammartino.
What's that? Kushida girl? Did you
Kushida.
see that creepy picture of her online?
Yeah.
With a face paint. It was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will say I did enjoy Asuka on commentary speaking no English.
She was just
fun.
yelling.
Just yelling. Ah!
You didn't see that, did you?
No, but the problem I have is like Asuka came out and tried to submarine Bailey and no, it wasn't Bailey, it was Bliss, right?
Bliss? No. I don't even remember who she was.
Whoever
No,
she
it was the Andrade.
it was Andrade, because it was something she had nothing to do with.
that match,
It was
yeah.
Andrade and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
No. She came out during the women's match.
Oh, that's
between
right. She
Bayley
did come out
Bailey
Right,
and
but
Becky.
Okay, yeah.
That's when
Against-
Triple H said the line, I didn't see Asuka. She came out of nowhere. She must have come through the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he
And
was the
she
best thing
threw
to happen.
Bliss.
Okay.
She threw Bliss into the.
Yes, into the.
So
into the
Banks
side.
got the pin.
Right. Okay.
So, I just. Asuka,
Like,
this isn't
what
working.
purpose? What?
No, Asuka is one of the few that is okay.
Yeah.
Now, I hate to say this.
Uh-huh.
Because we probably shouldn't get controversial on our show.
Oh, no.
Is the reason they're pushing Asuka out to be like, don't be afraid of people from this land? Like, it's okay.
All right.
Is that a
If we're
reason?
gonna get geopolitical,
I just thought about that as you were saying.
if we're
why
gonna
she's
get
out there.
geopolitical about the coronavirus,
Yes.
there's a theory going around that this should all be over somewhere around the first week of May,
Right.
which would be the 5th of May. Mm-hmm. Do you think Andrade, Rey Mysterio, and
Angel Garza
yeah,
and Zelina Vega.
have all come together and concocted Corona?
Maybe. to make sure that they are clear and able to go.
Because you're being racist.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe Lucha House Party is going to have a for real house party on Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with
everything's over.
I think we
Do you think they drink Coronas?
We discussed that one of the things WWE should bring back is the WWE in your house.
Yeah.
So you can't go to a performance center.
We're gonna
come
bring
to my house.
We're gonna bring 4 wrestlers,
right?
And there can only be 4 of you.
Yeah, come to my house. Do a match there in my backyard. I have a townhouse and a trampoline.
Townhouse and trampoline. I got a big hill in the back. We can call it a big hill brawl. Woo!
The following segment was not endorsed by Jeff the Ref.
Jeff the Ref is the most racist guy I know.
What? Yeah,
Don't you have a robe and a hood? What's wrong with you?
Jeez.
Jesus. Little they know you and I are African American males.
Right. They don't know that. A lot of people don't even know Jeff what he looks like. Giant swastika on his forehead.
It's like carved in. Like
I tried to get that erased.
like
But it just won't come off. I thought it was magic marker.
I'm just kidding, folks. We love all people of
Yes,
all
we
race
do.
and creeds. And they should all listen and follow us at the T3 Podcast Network. And we've now lost all of our listeners.
Oh, my God.
In episode 1.
That was the worst segment we have ever done.
You're welcome, America. Anyway, gentlemen. So as you said, we're getting into NXT. We're getting into AEW tonight. We know we have at least one more SmackDown and one more Raw at Performance Center. They haven't gone beyond WrestleMania as to what they are doing yet. The question is, are you still going to watch on Friday?
I'll turn it on and see what happens. Mm-hmm. But
I'll watch tonight because I want to see how NXT does it, and I want to see how AEW does it. I'll watch tonight, that's for sure.
I am going to walk away tonight after watching these 2 shows. I'm going to take the rest of today, this evening, and tomorrow to master a no-crowd wrestling drinking game.
Okay.
Friday, 3 of us are playing it.
okay,
I'm down with that.
got it.
And if you want to follow it, we'll put some of the rules up on our Twitter at T3 Network. We can put them on Instagram. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll show these 2 fine gentlemen how to work the Instagram, and we can start putting up some pictures or videos of us attempting to play this drinking game on a late Friday night during SmackDown. Probably more likely pictures, because if we put up videos, we're just going to embarrass ourselves. So we'll at least start with just pictures. of us drinking.
Okay.
Or at least what we are drinking as we play this game. And I think everybody should be involved, and we'll discuss how it all went next week on the 2nd episode of Takedown.
So before we leave, I think we got to do ourselves a favor, talk to our buddies over on the Emerald Island.
Yes.
Let them know Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St.
I think
Patrick's
that's
Day.
like their Independence Day.
I think it's like their July 4th, right?
I think it's where they succeeded from the Union.
I honestly...
I think it's where they beat up all the snakes.
You're
Wow.
right. It's when they hit all the snakes and drove them out of the country.
It's when the leprechauns choked out the snakes.
Right.
Threw them in the ocean.
Right.
And they turned to gold, and then that was what filled the pots.
Yeah.
And now
Not
we
endorsed.
get soda bread
By Jeff the
and
Ref.
corned beef and cabbage.
I had corned
Because
beef
that's
last
a
night.
really,
Excellent.
really Irish dinner. It is not.
No, it is not.
No. But, boys at Legend, happy day.
Happy day.
Did you drink? Because I
Well,
tend to think you drink all
They
the
drink
time.
all the time, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
They drink all the cans.
But they've closed all pubs in Ireland as well.
They did?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh,
they
what
have
are
to
they
get
doing?
walking
They've been
cans.
closed. All pubs in Ireland were closed on St. Patrick's Day.
Well, what are the boys doing?
I don't know.
I think the 4 of them have killed each other.
They must have to suck out their blood, which
And
is probably full
our
of
friends
alcohol.
on the Wrestling Life, although you may know more about wrestling than any of us do,
Any of us,
I think we can keep you at bay if we get a few beers in you.
Maybe.
Aren't they quarantined? Where are they based out
They're
of?
based out of Baltimore.
Baltimore.
So Baltimore,
Oh.
hun. So they're
Baltimore,
quarantined
hun.
with all the crabs.
So not only do they have the coronavirus, they have the crabs.
Exactly.
That's tough.
But again, folks, don't forget to follow us at T3 Network on Twitter. Look for us on Instagram and Facebook, T3 Network. You could go to our website, still under construction though, T3podcastnetwork.com, and call or text our super fun secret hotline at
202-556-4433. 202-556-4433.
And on that note, guys, I think we're done with the most awkward first episode we've ever had to have.
But not our fault.
Not our fault. Thanks,
Damn
Corona.
virus.
It'll get better.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. You take. And don't forget, I love you, Bobby Roode. Bye, Bobby Roode. It's a podcast!
I get closer.
Get closer, Corona boy.
We have got to be some of the dumbest men.
Wait.
No.
Leave it for the mic.
When this was all planned, there was no virus.
I'm a sailor, hey, and I lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I lost my leg.
T3 Podcast Network. Theories, thoughts,